Hello and welcome to You've Seen It Before, movie reviews with connections in mind, and welcome back to my reaction series of each and every episode of Season 2 of Star Trek Discovery. And in this series, it's just me giving you my brief thoughts and reaction to the latest episodes, as well as some examples of where you've seen certain plot developments or character developments before in various media. So with that being said, let's get into Season 2, Episode 2, entitled New Eden. So in this episode, we get to see the Discovery investigate another signal that they picked up, one of the mysterious signals that they've been picking up ever since the premiere episode, which the first one led them to a crashed Starfleet ship from the middle of the Klingon War with crew members that needed rescuing. And in this episode, the crew of Discovery is shocked to discover a new settlement of humans in the Beta Quadrant, in an area of the Beta Quadrant that human settlers have not ventured out that far into the Beta Quadrant as far as they know. And moreover, the human settlers were survivors from World War III in the early 21st century, according to the Star Trek calendar. So these people were brought many hundreds of light years away from Earth in World War III before even warp drives were even invented on Earth. And more to the point, these people are under threat from a deadly radiation cloud that is approaching their planet from the ring system around it, and it's up to the crew of Discovery to save these people, and as well as a small landing party that has landed on the planet in order to make contact with these people. This episode features some developments such as the fact that this signal can only be reached by using the spore drive, which Starfleet had already decommissioned because it violated several ethical bounds, but they had let it slide during the Klingon War, but they had wanted to decommission it because of Commander Stamets' condition. But of course, they recommission it by Captain Pike's order in order to investigate this signal, similar in a way to Season 1 of Stargate SG-1 within the Serpent's grasp, when the Stargate program is shut down, but SG-1 reuses it one more time in order to investigate a threat to Earth, mainly the Goa'uld invasion. This episode also, as I said, it features a human settlement from pre-warp times that is pushed out much farther than people may have thought. It's similar to a plot from the episode of Star Trek The Next Generation entitled Up the Long Ladder, in which a group of human settlers also from pre-warp times or very early warp times was pushed out, found by the Enterprise much after the fact and much further away than people thought they were. Also, this episode features loose connection, but still a fun connection with when Ensign Tilly is excavating a sample from a dark matter asteroid that was recovered from the previous episode, in order to create, in her words, to create a new dark matter navigation array in order to replace the current spore drive navigation array, aka Lieutenant Commander Stamets. This substance is so powerful, it has such a high gravitational pull that a small bit of it can crush a table, or it can release a large gravitational wave which will knock a person back, and it does so to Lieutenant Tilly. In my eye, that was a very fun little nod. It could be a coincidence, but it was a nod to a similar situation in Captain America: The First Avenger, when Howard Stark is investigating a very small piece of Tesseract infused material, and a small little reaction is enough to blast it out of his window and throw him across the room. Finally, there's also the shocking twist, or if you haven't seen movies or TV shows before, you would have seen it a mile coming. But the fact that there is a random crew member aboard Discovery who helps out Ensign Tilly in figuring out a way to save the settlers on this planet. However, she discovers that the person she thinks she sees died a couple years prior, and therefore couldn't possibly be on board Discovery. And she's potentially the only one seeing this particular crewman. This reminded me of an episode of Stargate Atlantis called Remnants, in which several members of the Atlantis expedition were seeing people that couldn't possibly be there. And that in the case of Dr. McKay, he saw someone who couldn't possibly be there at that time and who helped him solve the problem of finding the alien seed pod or whatever. So those are just some brief connections as to where you've seen it before. And as far as this episode goes, I like the fact that this is a callback, kind of return to form to traditional original series type shows, where it's more about exploring new bounds and getting a new society that they have to save, and a new planet where they have to go undercover in order to find out about what's happening, and they have to save these people somehow. And there's debates as to whether the Prime Directive applies or not. So this is classic Star Trek material, and I love that this series is kind of returning back to that formula after we've dealt with the events of the Klingon War from season 1. However, the way they handle certain things, I don't really agree with, and I know this might be a touchy subject for many, but the way that they portray how these human survivors created this new religion on the Earth by combining everything, including Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Hinduism, Confucianism, and Wicca somehow cohesively into one religion, united around the Red Angel. That seemed a little weird on its own, but then, as is not necessarily new to a Star Trek series, but they were very forceful in how they wrote Michael Burnham's character into how vehemently she shot down everything. And Christopher Pike was trying to be a little bit more voice of reason, how he knows that's not potentially he knows that it's probably not any of those religions, but he's trying to keep a more open mind. And he wasn't as forceful, so I didn't really agree with how they wrote those interactions. But I feel like that kind of that wasn't the episode's strong point, in my opinion. But other than that, I felt like this is a strong episode. This combined with the previous episode leads me to conclude that season 2 is going on a much more strong arc. A much better start than the previous episode, though. It's given me more confidence to move forward with this season, and I am looking forward to see how they solve with it. I didn't mention this before, but it's kind of reminding me of season 2 of Stargate Universe, in which there is a group of aliens that are incredibly powerful, and the crews involved don't know very much about them, but they can very easily be related to gods in that instance. And of course, and Christopher Pike even mentions that the reinterpretation of Arthur C. Clarke's law was saying that any insufficiently explained alien force can be mistaken for God, and that and the fact that this season seems to be centering around the search for this godlike alien, much like Stargate Universe season 2. It's giving me a lot of confidence in this episode. So there you have it. There's my reaction to Star Trek Discovery season 2, episode 2, New Eden. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. Did you like the episode? Did you not like the episode? Did I miss anything in my analysis? Did I get something wrong? I probably got something wrong. I just don't know. Do you agree with any of my analysis? Did I miss anything? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate whatever audience I can get in I appreciate your comments. You guys are the best. I'm still relatively new to YouTube, but the comments I've been getting are pretty awesome, pretty great. I love the fact that I'm getting that you guys are watching. So thank you so much, and be sure to tune in for more of my reaction series to Stargate Discovery, as well as look for my reaction series for episodes of the Orville if you're interested in that. And also I'd like to plug my movie reviews as well on my channel. I just recently reviewed Glass. If you're interested in that movie and my thoughts, you can check out that on my channel. And yeah, if you loved what you see, like, share, and subscribe. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate whatever audience I can get, but just remember, there is nothing new under the sun, and yes, you have seen it before.